for YouTube to see. Starting.
So what screen do we want to see? Cool. Streaming health, we're running.
We're running.
We're running, you can start talking.
Hello.
Yes,
sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone.
Sweet, we're here.
But we're live now.
Clamshell. Clamshell.
Yeah, Kat's talking.
I can hear an echo, so.
Yeah, off you go.
Okay, cool. Hi, sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone, but now we are live. We are shooting a tutorial for Inspire. I've left a link down below, which is our online tutorials website, where we film everything from lighting, posing, interviews with models, retouching, marketing, gear, everything you could need to know about photography. This genius has some online tutorials
not
for
a
you.
genius.
Also, like, I'm not a model.
Yeah.
But we wanted to give you guys a little bit of a behind the scenes live of that today.
Keep talking.
We're going through clamshell lighting, which is something that Peter does quite often, and it's probably the most recommended tutorial that we have had, which is why we thought it would make for an excellent live stream, also obviously as well as a tutorial. And I am not an assistant today,
Trying not
but
to laugh.
Still not a model. But yes, and we have Tisha behind the camera today, which you guys can't see because she's on the other side of the camera.
Yeah. Someone
It's
just
a
asked
good
who's
thing.
the camera operator.
Well, it is Tisha, so there you go.
Why, is it really bad?
No, it's fine.
Oh, good.
There's a mirror over there, you can actually show them, that's all right.
No, that's
All
cool.
right, so yeah, this is our
I'll try not
first
to laugh.
YouTube live. We've done a few installs recently. We messed around, we got our sound right by getting a channel mixer and plugging into the iPhone and all of that, getting the iPhone on the gimbal. But at the end of the day, we couldn't get the quality of the camera off the phone to our satisfaction to show what we wanted to show. Aperture became a problem with it. Auto, we work in a daylight studio, so as the sun comes up and down and so you went to a screen, it blew out. We hated that stuff. So we've decided we're going to do all our lives onto YouTube, and that way we can control our lighting so much better and control our sound. We're recording this through an A7R3 through a nice Zeiss Batis 25mm, so it gives us much better quality for our filming. Next time we come live, we'll actually have a console operator who will be able to grab screen grabs and show you what came up on the screen. But today, because it's only three of us and Tisha's behind the camera and I'm behind that camera and she's behind that, we don't have anyone to operate our console down here.
It'll probably be me with the questions
yeah.
on the side.
Anyway, so today we're doing clamshell lighting. So this is one of the setups we've done. We've just set the lighting up and got this picture, and we based the whole look on one of the clamshells I did many years ago, which is that shot there, if Tisha can get in and see it. That one, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
You're getting there. Cool. So what we've got set up just two umbrellas. Got a 1.5 at the top and a 1.2 at the bottom. Just running these diffusers sitting on top. The one thing I am going to do though is I want to lift this a touch higher, so I can drop this a touch lower. Only because it was just getting in the way of my shot. There we go. So no, it's all right, I got it. I broke it. That's better. So with this, there's no set proportion, so there's no ratio. So if I had a light meter, and I took a meter reading down and a meter reading up, there's no set proportion, it's adjusted per every face. So everyone's face is different, every softbox is different. At the moment, the bottom softbox is more efficient because it's smaller, sorry, it's bottom umbrella. The larger the umbrella, less efficient it is to bounce the light out of. We're running at 5.5 on the bottom one and 6.2 on the top one. I reckon if I ran a light meter on there, I reckon that would be sitting the top one a touch more powerful than the bottom one. But like I say, don't do it by ratio, do it by eye. Take your pictures and adjust it till you get them balanced the way you want it balanced. So if Beck jumps in there, and at the moment, if I take all my settings off and go back to the shot after my color card, so that's the color corrected one with no adjustments at all on here at all. I'm just going to take a shot, turn all this back on. Both are working. Cool. Come back a little bit from before. That's really pretty. For Beck, we normally have emo music playing.
We are filming in 4K, aren't we, Pete?
No, we're filming in HD, I think.
HD?
Yeah. I think, did we? Oh no, it might be in 4K.
I'm pretty sure it's 4K.
Is it? Oh,
yep.
That's a mistake.
So thanks, Kamal, for pointing that out.
So we should change it to HD, but we won't do it now. The next one will be HD.
No, he's saying that, he said you want to use something like a Canon 80D for live streaming, or if you want to get for the 1080p or 4K.
No, this has got 4K.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I'm not going to use a Canon.
No, I know.
I used to use Canon all the time, but I love the Sony.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure Pete won't be happy with that.
I've got nothing against Canon, but I like mirrorless. Of course, even for our video work, I find that I have much more control. Beautiful, beautiful. Stunning, 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 stunning. So I'm just trying to get a nice shot to start with. Yeah, see, that's really cool. Sorry?
My hair's probably...
Your hair's all right, a little bit. So I've already cropped this to the height that I want it cropped. That's why I move in. Most of my shots I crop in camera because that's what I wanted the shot to be. I can't find it very hard to crop afterwards, so I crop it the way I like it. And with this, I'm just going to make it more porcelain, more fashion. So if I throw contrast on this, you'll see it goes very orange. I am going to fill in with some shadow fill, just so we can see the detail in her hair again. And if I then pull out saturation, I can get rid of that orange and get that nice fashiony type of shot with this.
Apparently we're broadcasting in 720.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll only be this unit. We'll have, this is our first time. We've got to play for a bit yet.
All right, cool. Thanks, Kamal, for putting that out.
We'll have a look to see how we can adjust what we're broadcasting in. But, so with that, can you get a decent look on that screen? Right in nice and close. You'll see with that I have desaturated this a fair bit, but put the contrast. So it's 23 of contrast and minus 33 of saturation to get that look. And this is just running the two lights, that's all it is. I've set one of the lights just back a fraction to the other one, but that's only, I played around a little bit earlier, just to put a little bit more light into her hair. With this, it was set up for the tied in headshot, and that's about where I would shoot it. So cool, beautiful, stunning, 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 stunning. And that's me shooting dead straight on. With this, I can also shoot off axis, which means I can change the look of this. So if I jump over here and shoot it off axis, cool. You'll see that the look on the screen is quite a bit different. You'll see that she's shaded on one side. Or I shoot in here. Turn more to me if you like. Cool, yeah, cool. You'll see that be shooting off axis that way. We get that nice, nearly like a Rembrandt light on the side of her cheek. So we can pretty much shoot around this light, but I originally used it dead straight on like that. Now the other thing is if I want to do my black and white sort of look, that's ugly. Well, I was going to have this hanging in your belly button, so I need to push it down a bit. If I used 2 soft boxes, I wouldn't have had to worry with that, but I just wanted to show how I can use any type of light source. So I've just used 2 umbrellas on this. So if I shoot this a little bit wider, cool, nice. For this sort of look, now I can more make it my black and white style by I can just jump straight onto green channel. Boom.
Hey from Toronto, Peter.
We'll see you later on this year.
Hello from Colombia.
Oh, I'd love to go to Colombia.
I wonder why back.
Well, Brazil.
Oh,
Brazil,
well,
yeah.
close.
It's close. Cool. So all I'm doing is just moving some of my sliders around to get the look. And there's some of the things I do, I know what I'm going to get before I do them, but other times I'll just move something and say, do I like it or do I not like it? And I'll just move them to a point. I'm just making sure I keep detail in the black of the hair with this amount of contrast on. I've got to put a bit of a down curve on this. I can just vary her lip toning. And I can even come in and use my color balance to then tone the rest of the picture. So you can see how I can lighten her or darken her with my color temperatures based on what it's going to do to green channel. So it just gives me a little bit more scope to really tone the feel and mood of that picture. And if I flick this to color again, you'll see it's a really weird color, but see how there's a lot of green tinge in it? That's just put some light into that black and white. So again, I'm happy with that, and if I just snap a couple of pictures on that, cool. That's really cool. That's really cool, awesome. And what I can do, I can now play around and do an adjustment on this. So this is just where I started. So, nice blinky shot.
Oh, thanks.
So with this, I might get to a point where I say, I've only got 2 lights and I want to get some more light on the background. So what I might do is just try rotating this top light to throw a little bit more light onto the background. Throw a lot of light on the background and lift it up a touch higher. Now I'm thinking it's more power is going to be coming off this and hitting back, so I'm just going to guess turning it down, maybe take a full stop of light off, and just snap a picture. And you'll see the difference between this picture and the one previous. See how much more lighter the background is? And Beck's face is a little bit lighter as well. So I can now adjust some things, but I'm still getting a similar effect. I can even punch that light up a touch more. I'm going to swing this light even more to the background.
Are you sharing the settings, Pete, or is this all for Inspire?
No, I'm setting, the camera settings?
Yeah.
The camera settings are 100 ISO, f8 at 100 I'm at 320th of a second because of the bright day. But with this, if I come back to what most of you can shoot, so I'm on leaf shutter, so I don't have to worry about shutter, that's at 1/60th of a second. And the main difference, the reason my studio is quite bright, and if I take my flash off, so the flash won't fire, and take a picture with the ambient light, it's not too bad, but you'll see that we have a little bit of ambient light still coming in. Now I can get away with that, but commercially I would want to get rid of that ambient light, so I can either block all my windows off, which would make the studio darker and not as comfortable to work on, or I can just go for a higher shutter speed, so 3/20th of a second, and that way I can use my shutter speed to kill more of the ambient light. So I'm going to keep just playing to show you how you don't get stuck that clamshell's not just one way of lighting. So I'm adjusting this so more and more light's going towards the background. I just want to put it back to colour for a minute. Oops.
Peter's cool, but I'm really here to see back.
All right, sorry. That's fine. I'm happy to go and drink.
And also, you mentioned an adjustment on the green channel before in your black and whites on a previous video on Insta last week.
Yep.
Can you expand on why you adjusted the green channel for black and white?
Well, I went to green channel. I can only, with my channels, I can only, at the moment, oops, wrong one. Get rid of colour. With my channels, I've got red, green and blue channel. At the moment, I'm 100% green channel and 0 on my red and blue. It's because I prefer, I used to use a green filter on my old film camera with black and white because I like the effect. This greeniness you're seeing in here is not the green channel. This is because I played around with these settings up here. The green channel is only going to affect my black and white. And it's because I like the detail that green channel puts in. If I quickly flick through them again now, this is on green channel now. There's red channel, you'll see that her lips went very white because they're the reddest thing in the picture. If I go blue channel, look at her denim shirt, will go much lighter and the skin went darker. So it's just my preferred channel to use. Unfortunately in RAW, the Hasselblad firmware software is the only one that gives you red, green and blue channels in RAW. If I'm going to do this stuff and I'm shooting with my Sony, I will take it into Photoshop and go to Channel Mixer, which has red, green and blue channels. This is starting to come up nicely. Let's take another angle. So now I've swiveled, in fact I'm going to swivel that even more. So I'm going to point that. So the most of this power is going to the wall behind, even though the wall's a long way behind, so it's going to struggle to light it. But this is now taking most of the power off Beck's face, which will allow me to turn this up a little bit. No, I only do it with good models. Yeah, I know.
Hi from Argentina, you are my inspiration.
You work for me. Argentina, was it?
Yeah, you are my inspiration.
Oh, thank you. I want to get to Argentina one day. Cool, beautiful, beautiful.
So I understand Beck is not a model, then is Peter not a photographer?
No, I'm not a photographer. I'm a button pusher. I push buttons. So you'll see that I've tilted this light right up, straight at the back wall now. And if I go back, it's a similar type of effect. All I've done is we've got a little bit more contrast coming in underneath. What I should do is go back to the colour card shot, the one after, and take a shot. Cool. And then we can have a look at it proper colour corrected. So see how we're a little bit less exposed because I've pointed that light straight to the back. So if I turn this up even more now. So let's go 6.8.
6.8?
6.8. Bang. See how I've lit the back wall now? So see how it hasn't lit, Beck's a little bit further lit, but if I go back to the shot after, I wish I had them in order. Where's our colour card? There we go. Beck's about the same lit, but the background now, I've got the background much lighter. So it's still a clamshell. The difference is...
Hi from Paris, I love your work.
The difference is if you look at the lights now, that is a lot different. So to show you how much I can do, is I can punch this light up even more. I'm on 6.8. I'm going to go to 8. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it up higher again. So more power is now going to the back wall and less power is going onto Beck. Let's punch it up a bit there. Cool. Oops, overcooked her now. So that's just taking her a touch over. I should use my trigger, but I can't. No, trigger will turn bottom one. So let's go 7.5. Pump that up. Cool. Punch that in. There we go. So this is still clamshell. So it's completely different lighting. It's actually really nice lighting. Beck's sitting there, it looks like a model. It's amazing. Cool.
Amazing.
It's looking a little bit, I'm looking at the YouTube feed.
Oh, let me turn it down.
Is
that better?
Our camera operator's overexposing on the shot. She's not watching her zebraing.
No, the sun just came out. You've got to give me a second. There we go.
That's better. So now you can see it's not cooking, it's very clean. If it was cooking, you'll see that I've got my exposure alert turned on, and when I bring that up, you'll see blue come onto the face to show you it overexposing eventually. I'll take that back off. So it's not overexposed, but that's given us a beautiful shot. I can then very quickly contrast this up, desaturate it back a little bit to get rid of that orangeness, make it more fashiony, to a little bit of shadow fill to get that hair detail back in. And I can most likely even put a little bit of a curve onto this just to punch in that look. And see, it's a completely different look, but it's still clamshell lighting. It's still got this beautiful, feels like one light going straight in.
Fernando, to explain the channel thing again, we'll have it on Peter's Inspire page. This will be up really soon, so keep an eye.
The channel thing again, yeah, it's, I'm doing, if Tisha wants to come off the screen, so I'm doing some, a couple of tutorials very soon on one of them, how to use the focus program for all the Hasselblad users. With that, I'll be going to more depth on channel mixers. Otherwise, I've got lots and lots of things on Inspire, which goes much more into detail just about channel mixers. This is more just a quick live of behind the scenes on this shoot. And there's a lot more to black and white than just channel mixers. So I'm more, it's something you really need to play with yourself and do your own style. So I can give you a formula, but then your pictures just look like mine. And that doesn't make you a great photographer. You want to look like Peter Lindbergh or someone really good. But it's so important that you have your own style, and that way every time you go and play with knobs and sliders, you're actually doing the stuff that your eyes like, so it becomes yours. You don't, there's not somebody else's formula, it's just your eyes go, oh, I like it there, and that's a really important thing of this. I might just do one more change to this light. Let's see what happens. If we do, we'll turn this down, pull some power off it. We're going to swing. Oh, you've never seen this one before.
Never seen this before.
You've only been with me for a year.
Clam.
You expect to learn all my tricks?
Yes.
All right, so.
Is it covering?
I can make this
Photography
picture. I can make this
101.
picture
Don't
so
cover the
much
model.
better. See how I can make it better? So I'm just going to drop this down. So now it's really clamshell. So it's two lights straight in, one above, one below. I've turned the power down a little bit because now the umbrella's pointed at that. It's going to have more power coming out of it. Bang, see, look at the difference in that. That's actually really cool. The contrast is gorgeous. Really soft and even, so if someone had really bad skin, the uplight and the light facing backwards is nice, but that's such a cool fashiony shot. I really like that. I should have done this before, Beck. Why haven't you shown me this?
I've only been with you a year. You expect me
What
to
sort of an
know
assistant are you?
Thanks for the clarifying the Hassi software. is there only software with channels in RAW? I'll have to explore that more to see what I can do in C1 Pro.
Yeah, no, like I said before, I haven't been able to find, the only other program I could find that had red, green and blue channels in the RAW was Aperture, but nobody bought it, so Apple stopped making it. It was an amazing RAW program, but everyone went to a really crappy program like Lightroom, and Apple stopped making Aperture. But like I said, if you take your picture into Photoshop, it's Channel Mixer inside Photoshop that can do the exact same thing. It's just you've got to do it in your Photoshop environment rather than the RAW environment. I just want to take another shot on that. I'm just going to fine tune this, that bottom light. Oh, that's really nice.
How do we get the same result in Capture One then?
Capture One doesn't give us that, unfortunately. Okay. Capture One, you'll find that it gives you red, green, blue, magenta, yellow, cyan. They're not color channel filters. So what you need to remember is on our digital cameras, we have a red, a green and a blue channel. So all I've done is turned off my, left my green channel at 100 and turned off red or blue. All the other programs just put different types of effects in so it's, when you move your red slider, it makes red lighter. When you move your green slider, it makes green lighter. But it doesn't make, when you move your green slider up, it doesn't make red darker. Whereas if with this, the more I have more green in there, the blacker my reds will get. So nothing against Capture One because it is a great program, but I really wish they had a red, green, blue slider in there for that reason. Take one more shot on this. Stunning, stunning. Yeah, cool. Really happy with that light. Oh, do you want to see it?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Cool. Well, was there any serious questions I need to look at? Otherwise,
I think. Thanks a lot for explaining that.
Yeah, look, the Nikons are all great cameras. They're not a problem. And more, it's hard. Look, there's nothing wrong with doing your black and whites in Photoshop because every time I shoot with a Sony, that's what I'm using to do my black and whites is Photoshop. Because even Adobe Camera Raw doesn't give me red, green, blue channel. So I'm much prefer if I can't do it in my RAW, I'll do my black and white conversion in Photoshop. I'm doing a tutorial soon, it's most likely going to be a month away, there's about 300 different ways you convert to black and white within Photoshop on its own, and I'll be going over a whole tutorial on all the different ways you can look at it. And one of the funniest thing, or not funny, one of the cleverest things I ever saw was somebody who showed me how to do a perfect desaturate so none of the channels had effect to it. But then as you play with other things, it shows you how much little changes make to certain colours will affect your black and whites. What are you doing? Oh, you snuck over for your wine.
No, I was checking.
Oh, you're checking. You're checking. Anyway, this is our just first try with YouTube Live. So far, I like it so much better just for the control that we have now over the camera where we didn't have with Insta Live. We're going to try and do them monthly, and Beck's trying to kick me out to say something.
Because someone asked if we're coming to New York soon, and yes we are. We'll be there probably around September. We've got our Melbourne 5-day workshop next week, which I'm really excited for, but after that I will be focusing on planning the rest of the year and releasing New York dates really soon.
Where else?
LA, Toronto, maybe South America. Maybe, we'll see.
Maybe Burning Man.
Maybe, no.
Next year.
But I will, keep an eye out. I should have put a link down below, but workshops.peter-coulson.com.au. Keep an eye out on there. I'll release dates and announcements really soon about upcoming workshops in the States.
Who makes our shirts?
Who's
that gorgeous shirt on there? Gorgeous.
Our beautiful camera operator.
One of my clients is a male fashion label, and they had a t-shirt printer which they were going to do some of my prints on shirts. They went away from doing t-shirt and more into suits, but we got to use it. We had a look at putting them online to sell, but the postage was killing us. Out of Australia, we're looking at $40 to $50 in postage. They just made it too expensive, so we didn't bother. But look, in the future, we might dabble again, but they're still going to sit around $100 by the time you get the t-shirt bought, printed, and shipped. So to me, they're a bit high to commercially make them viable. But I think Beck's been talking about every time we do a live stream, giving a couple away. So we might look at little competitions to run every live stream we do is throw, to the nicest people on live stream to us, we'll throw them. Maybe one nasty person can get one to shut them up. I think that's about it for this stream. We're going to try and do them every week with this better quality. Next time we'll actually have a panel operator, a camera operator, and a real model. And we'll just sort of pick different topics that we can cover just broadly, quick and easy without going into detail. On Inspire, some of our tutorials go for 2 hours, so it's not something I can quickly do live. And I think we've got over 220 tutorials or videos up on that site now.
Yes.
Cool?
Yes.
Would you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm trying to say tuning and joining at the same time. Thank you for tuning in.
See what I've got to put up with?
Thank you for tuning in to our first YouTube live stream. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you again very soon.
Woo! Where's my off button?